Yes, guys, it is episode 11 of the Bikini Inside. If you admit it, we didn't do our last episode last week. I blame myself because I was sick, but we're here with our co-hosts, Marnie and Kerry. Ladies, you're good.
All
Yeah,
good. How about you? Are you feeling better now?
Yeah, I'm all good, all good. My head was spinning on Thursday and Friday, but yeah, we're all sound. But
What's
look,
that?
let's start. You know what? Let's do it very different. Kerry, I want to start with yourself here. You
Okay.
know, maybe we need a weekly update on
Yeah.
your Olympia prep because obviously I saw the picture you posted the other day. It's probably now the other week, which was
Yeah.
like a February 2024 comparison, 2025. In fact, let me just grab.
crazy.
Yeah, I've actually got a picture right here. So let me just bring it up. But yeah, man,
Yeah, mad.
clear as day.
Yeah. Even mine,
He hasn't made
honestly,
progress.
like to me, that is actually crazy. Like the most crazy thing about it for me though is looking at the February 2024 and thinking like that was a physique that then later got the qualification. Like if you swipe right to the end, like that first physique on your left,
Yeah.
go again.
Oh,
Yeah, so all of these on the left turned into that. So I'm like, what can the one on the right turn into? Like when you look at how much improved it is. And I was so happy with this physique here. Like that is like I look at that and I'm like, wow, like if like I actually do look at it and say, wow, which is nice to be able to say about yourself.
Yeah,
Because back in the day, like I never would have said that. I never would have thought I could look like this. But now looking at the improvements, I'm like, oh my gosh, if that physique turned into that, which was to me really amazing, like what is this gonna turn into? Like all of these are the same weight. Well,
but yeah.
actually heavier on
I
the
mean,
right.
like, you're gonna look at your physiques from the very start, thinking like, this is the physique that got me my pro card. This is
Yeah,
the physique that first got me my major placing in a pro show. This is
yeah.
the one that got me my Olympic qualification. And now the next one we have next to that is the physique that's gonna step on the Olympic stage for the very first time, which
Yeah.
is gonna be the one to beat come 2026.
I know. But yeah, so I'm super happy with the progress given the fact that um well, that I faced quite a lot of setbacks, I would say, with like injury and Marnie knows to be honest, because we waffle on for many hours per week. Um and yeah, I just had so much like injury and whatnot, and I was literally just doing what I could. Like obviously I've been surrounded by injury with Mark, and I've just seen him do what he can do. And he kept telling me and reminding me, like, just keep doing it. You'll be surprised what does actually come of that. So obviously that's what I did. And I did 100%, obviously. And this is where we are.
Isn't it crazy that it's like a zero point 0.2 kg difference?
Mm, it's really crazy to me, honestly. And yeah, there
that's
is.
one of my favorite things about just progressing through the years. And I try and say it to like the girls that I'm posing or whatever, rather than like comparing your physique to another athlete who may be at a different point in their journey to you. One of my favorite ways to like boost my own confidence and self-belief is actually to look back at how my physique looked at that same weight a year prior or 6 months prior or whatever, because you re-own that body weight at a completely different body composition. And
Yeah,
I think you hear people say it all the time, like, oh, ignore the scale, it doesn't mean anything. And that's so true, but it's really hard to like truly grasp what that means, I think, until you've seen your body change at that way year after year after year. I know you would agree with me, Carrie, on that. Like,
percent. And also, like, I think, where a lot of athletes say that, like, the top level pros and things like that manage to keep it. Oh, how do you keep it so lean in the off season? How do you keep it so lean? The more muscle mass you have, the more muscle pushes through the skin. Um, And so the more muscle mass you have, the more muscle pushes through the skin. Literally, you can see it in that photo that we just shared there. So I think you do generally look like you hold a leaner set point
Mm.
as you do bodybuild, but you do have to remember it is bodybuilding. I think one of my first shows that I ever did, I was like 101 pounds. What that, like 47 or 48 kg? Then now it's like 55.1. Like that is bodybuilding. But imagine if all that time I was so focused on the scale and trying to be back at that number, I would like never progress. So you just have to let your body ride the wave of progression and let the weight increase and just follow your off season to a T. But I do especially feel like if you're someone that's been in a position where you have had things that are out of your control happen, life situations or injuries, illness, things like that. If you can adhere to everything else that is in within your control, you're gonna make progress that you're gonna be very shocked. You're gonna be so shocked, honestly, because that's what's happened to me, and I just know I've seen it happen to Mark, and yeah, yeah, it's just one of them.
Well, on the complete opposite side, Marnie, it's been what, maybe 3 weeks since your retirement announcement?
Yeah, like not even. Has it been 3 weeks?
I don't know.
Oh, yeah.
It's,
You know what it
Uh,
is? Because it's, well, technically 3 weeks and a day because obviously I made the announcement at midnight, but it was the Wednesday that everyone woke up
I,
and saw the news. Yeah, I can't believe it. I'm still
so
basking in it, to be honest, and just reliving all the memories. I was going through like all my competing stuff and getting all my badges out and just looking through everything and
I
yeah, like
saw I saw a story, but you obviously posted a Q&A on your IG, and one of the questions came up was like, and you responded in a way where it's like, oh yeah, this question keeps coming up and up, and it might be down to the fact that it's a very hot subject now because fib model is happening every single week.
mm,
Are you getting quite a lot of people asking you about fib model? Because of course the reason why you chose to retire was you felt that, you know what, you didn't want to, you know, develop, add further muscle, and then of course people hear that and they think, oh, now we've got a fib model division. Maybe Marnie might jump into that.
the natural like answer to the problem or whatever would be, oh, we'll downsize and whatever. But I mean, I think again, I've done a lot of Q&As and I've had so many amazing questions from people and I've actually saved them all to a highlight on my Instagram because I want people who maybe go through this because the reality is every athlete has to retire at some point. So maybe the people that are listening now might not relate, but I want that to be a source for people in the future that, that maybe they can find some comfort in some of the things that I'm saying and like, wow, actually, yeah, I'm in that position, or not even just with bodybuilding. I mean, it could be anything. It could be leaving a relationship or leaving a career that doesn't serve you anymore and things like that. And I think you can, like we always say, you can apply the lessons in bodybuilding to pretty much anything in life, I would say, the skills that you acquire. But yeah, I've had a lot of people, do you know what, well-respected people that I know as contacts in the industry that have actually said Pro Fit Model 2026 to me. And like of course it has crossed my mind, like I would be lying if I said like no, I've just kind of like brushed it off. But I think again the reason that I stepped away, although a lot of it was largely down to, like you say, not wanting to push the muscularity anymore and things like that, it is quite a multifaceted thing because I want to do other things in life as well. So right now my focus is not on preparing to get back on stage. Whereas like I'll use like Emily Olivia as an example. She's obviously taken this year out, and her and I are good friends. We've spoken about this. Whereas she has in the back of her mind, okay, I am getting ready to step on stage as a pro fit model, right? Whereas for me, I'm not in that headspace. I'm kind of almost just like sitting in the fact that I've retired. And, I don't want to speak in absolute, but I would also be at peace knowing that like if that was the last time that I stepped on stage, then that is it, sort of thing. But again, yeah, it's so hard to know really what it is that it's going to look like because, and again, I say this to my posing clients, I'm like, right now, we don't have like a pro league standard that we know fit model is yet. Yes, we've got an IFBB fit model pro, but we only have one athlete. And if you think about the variation in the bikini division of pros,
Yeah.
one athlete is not, do you get what I'm saying? Like, we haven't got the full spectrum of or picture yet of how are different structures and physiques going to look in fit model, just like they are in bikini, because bikini's not black and white. It is what it is for each athlete. So I think it'll be really interesting because I think also naturally when you step into the pro league, of course, the level of competition is higher across every division, but also the density in the physiques. And I think that's where it's going to be interesting to see the contrast. I don't know if you two would agree with that, because right now we are really looking at amateurs and a brand new pro. We're not looking at seasoned pro fit model athletes.
Completely agree.
Yeah,
So
yeah. I think obviously there's fit model pro qualifiers coming up. We've got one up to the UK in about 5 weeks. Pittsburgh is the next one in the US, which will have two pro cars for fit model competitors. I know Emily, who came second to Angie in Japan, she'll be doing that. Jane Jones, who's got a lot of hype around her because people are a big fan of her physique from
I
winning
love
San
her look.
Diego. I think, yeah, so she's doing that. We've got in a few weeks the Arnold South America, and there's a Brazilian girl who's won the two fit model amateur
Yeah.
shows overall, so she's doing that. So, and we're starting to see maybe if you are looking at some of the pictures, there is a lot of similarities now of the physiques. I think internationally there was a lot of disparities, and I'm looking forward to
Yeah.
see what the UK side is because, as you mentioned, Emily's already confirmed that she wants to move to fit model, and obviously being an IB Pro in bikini, fit model 2026. I'm seeing a lot of UK bikini girls from 2024, 2023 transitioning into the 2025 fit model amateur scene. So, of course, when Two Bros comes along, I'm expecting to see a lot of familiar faces in
Hmm.
that division who feel that's going to be the best direction for them. But you know what, Marnie? You gave me my clickbait anyway. You just gave me that clickbait title of you saying Pro Fit Model 2026. So I'm thinking, how can I use that now? Well, I was like, may know I
That's
know time.
hilarious. Yeah.
All right, we got our first guest. Let me bring her in, and I can see the picture. I'm waiting for the video to come up.
Hey.
Hello.
Hey,
Hello.
girl.
How are you?
How are you? Good. Wait,
I'll let her put headphones on first.
it's better.
Yes.
Yeah, we can hear you fine.
Perfect.
Perfect. Okay, let me give a proper introduction. So, we got a two-time Olympian. Let me just go through 2024 because I did make some notes earlier. We got a top four in the Wasatch Warrior, second over in India, fourth in the Emperor Classic, fifth in the Portugal. She's part of Trained by JP, same as Kerry, see the logo on the top. And she's actually got a competition under her own name, the Allison Testu Cup over in France, I believe. Of course, is two-time Olympian Allison. How are you?
Good. Thank you so much. I hope everyone is doing great. I'm super happy to have this live all together, actually. So everything is fine. I am in prep, but chill prep. So everything good.
Prep looks to be going well as well.
Thank you.
Yeah, we're loving the updates.
Have you announced what shows you're doing yet, or is that still?
No, no, no. I don't tell it because I did it in the past very often, but I noticed that a lot of prep coach start to send me messages and telling me this thing is not going well, this thing is not going well. So I don't want to say because a lot of coach or other athletes just comment on the shape and the form, and it just messed my mind a little bit.
That's crazy.
So
I just, I just want to flip back to 2024 because we spoke a bit on IG about some of the feedback that you were given from the judges, and I just obviously shared some of the results here. We got top four. we peaked in second over in India, and then there was a slight decline, going from fourth in the Emperor Classic in Spain, and then fifth in Portugal before you decided to shut shop and then focus on 2025, take the feedback, as you kind of mentioned, and then focus on getting back on stage when the time is right. So
Yes.
now we're 3 months into 2025. How do you look back at 2024 and how has that molded the physique we could expect to see this year?
So in fact, in 2024, it was just the contest shape of what I did in 2023, because in 2023, I was not sure if I wanted to keep going on bikini, because actually, uh, the problem of bikini is that in Europe, they are really stacked and shredded, the thing that I like to get. But once you are qualified for the Olympia, they want the total opposite. And I'm not able to bring that soft look they because I got a very thin skin. And this is not my genetic, that's all. And the problem is that I was always glutes dominant, not glutes dominant, but lower body dominant because I got wide hips. So I was thinking maybe I should grow to wellness, but I noticed that it's very far from being reasonable because wellness asks a lot of things that I'm not ready to do. So in fact, 2024 was just the contest shape of the growth that I tried to unbuild. But I noticed that I got way too much legs, way too much hips, and the projection of glutes was not enough compared to the legs. So now that I lost a lot of legs, I can say that it looks more proportional. But yes, there was a decline in my shapes. I know that for me, after the third competition of the season, the shapes start to fade and I can do everything I want. It will never look the same. Never. So M Pro was soft on purpose, but still could be more beautiful soft. But and then Portugal was bad. I lost all my glutes. Everything was not so good, but I was happy because I still ended at the fifth position. So it's still good, like to be the worst shape ever and still make it to the first call out. But yes. So I don't know for the first contest of 2025. I don't know. I don't know.
It's a waiting game. You're just letting your body choose, I guess.
Yes.
That's the
Do
best
you
thing.
find, Alison, do you find that because obviously you've done so many shows now in the US and Europe, do you manipulate your look for the States then? You know, when you've said like you want to bring a slightly softer look, how would you navigate that? Is it through your peak or is it actually in the prep and the strategy of, okay, we're going to start with a US show and then get leaner and compete in Europe? Is that a thing for you or?
We tried different things, but the thing that was working the best is to fuck the peak, if I can say that, because we try to prep differently, but when you are not enough lean, then fill up, it does not look so good.
Yeah.
But you have to be shredded to be able to fill up the muscles and then fuck the peak. So actually, for many times we did 350 milliliters of ice cream every night. Yes, because I needed to get a kind of inflammation
Yeah.
just for it to look good, but I cannot change the way I prep because otherwise I'm looking too soft and no muscles have the projection I need to get. So it's just I need to be too much saturated. I need to leave a little bit of water to have the good look. And also I have to change a little bit the warm-up. Of course, the warm-up don't touch nothing for USA, maybe a little bit of upper glutes, but that's all. I don't warm up for USA. And also I have changed the way I work out the last few weeks before the contest in USA. so mainly glutes or arm stretching, but not upper body or nothing.
Mm.
It's
Is that
totally different.
would
How
that
have you
go? Oh, go on, Carrie.
how have you like felt the evolution of going through that? Like, do you miss how you used to train? How do you feel?
At the beginning, I was sad stopping the upper body and the legs because I was seeing what gonna miss me. But then I realized that there is always a positive side by the rest, by getting more rest. It's like I can focus more on my couple, taking care of myself, taking more baths, having more walks. I can focus on being a person and not so much an athlete because now I train just 3 times a week, so I can do a lot of things more. So finally, I found positive, so I'm not so frustrated. But at the beginning was hard, and the hardest is to go on stage knowing you don't bring your best on purpose because you don't want to go on stage looking like this. And actually, when I won the Europa Pro, I was crying 3 days before going on stage. And I was like, I look like shit. I look like shit. Because I was looking like shit. Clearly, I was looking like shit. And when they told me perfect peak, I was like, ugh. And even Tyler in the M Pro, he told me perfectly hit the bikini condition. And I was like,
Yeah, so it's your perspective of what you visualize. You like bikini different to what bikini is. And I'm with you on that. I completely agree that like I would much rather be shredded, dry, lean, hard. But it's not how it should be. So we have to go the other way, which
yes. And that's not so much the fact that I don't like to be soft. I love it. But I know my glutes cannot be soft, otherwise they don't pop.
Mm.
I need to be shredded from the glutes, but I need these only parts to be shredded, not the rest. But the
I think
point is that it's not possible.
the thing is, with the density that you have this year, can that be achieved? Probably, because you've got way more pushing through the skin anyway. So at a higher body fat level, which means everything else has got a little bit more, then you could have that tick in the box. So maybe you'll wear exactly where you need to be.
Maybe I don't know because it's so strange because actually now my glutes look like they have more projection, but they are the flattest ever. Like it's so crazy because last year I got maybe 5 centimeters more glutes, but the fact that they were maybe too full and too wide were lacking of projection on the legs. But now they are super flat. Even when I walk, I don't have so much the shelf anymore. It's like a little bit down. And I was wondering why the bikini in USA they don't got the big shelf. I was
Yeah,
like, how it's possible? It looks good on stage, but in backstage this is not like.
Yeah, agree.
that's something that I noticed when I first met some of like the bikini Olympians in real life for the first time. Because I think from Instagram, and maybe girls that are listening who've never seen us in real life before, they think we walk around with watermelon glutes, and actually, yeah, just when you're on stage, it looks like that. It's crazy, isn't it? And the
Yes,
pose,
and on stage they look so good with
yeah,
the posing, and my back pose was not, there was literally no projection at the Olympia, and I was like, how it's possible? And I was singing backstage, I was like watching my glutes, I got the shelf, and I was, how it's possible? And
Yeah,
in fact, you need to get the flat aspect in the glutes for it to be correctly with the sizing exactly how they want. And that's something I took years to understand. And
mm,
even with James from Team Atlas, he made me the flattest possible. But from the back, I got the sizing. I was skinny, not beautiful. I was skinny, but the sizing were totally right on point. And I was like, how it's possible?
mm,
Uh, Alison, I just want to touch on something Marnie said a moment ago, and she was talking about how you try to navigate your physique to match the looks that certain shows require. So I know you said you haven't kind of picked the shows you're looking for 2025, but then geographically, do you have an idea about where in the world you want to travel, compete because you feel your physique will be better suited to those shows, those judges?
Honestly, I'm gonna stay in Europe for now because it's a lot of money to go to USA, unfortunately. And I know that the show in USA they are so stacked recently because there's a lot of big heads doing the show. So it's like being compared with the best. It's good, but I did it already, so I know what I need to change. And now if I go there again, it's like I just waste money, so it's not useful. But I'm gonna stay in Europe, and then for the choice of the place, I know that Tyler like me a little, but a little if I am not too hard. And I know that Steve Winberger like me a lot, but the point is that he prefers Valeria over me. And I know that, for example, official code, Valeria with the look she had, she gonna just choose the shows with Derek or Steve. That's all. She cannot win nowhere else. So she will pick that show and she will win that show. So it's impossible for me to go there because she explore the X-frame and the condition. And that's something I don't want to push because I want to fit Europe and USA at the same time.
It's
So
hard for the European girls to break out into the US market and do well, like you say, because there's so many good US pros, and it's great that you've obviously got that experience. You've already been on Olympia stage, you've done Arnold, like you've done the big shows, but I think not a lot of people talk about, like we've mentioned it before, haven't we? Like we've spoke about it, Kerry, like your strategy and what shows you pick, and depending on, your look and who likes your look, and who we can't always choose who we're going to be stood next to, but you can kind of guess which athletes are going to be like in the lineup, really. So,
yes, exactly. And for example, because I've been there many times, Sandy, she's judging the Olympia and she's also judging the Clash championships a lot. I did Clash last year and I did Olympia and I know she likes me. Every time she makes me a feedback, she's like, "Oh, I like you, I like you." But the point is that I don't get the chance to be often in front of Sandy when there is always Ashley Canvasser because Ashley just picked the show with Sandy because she knows. But I wish Sandy could come a little bit more here because
I know.
I know she is the best to have the good eye for bikini because she is judging Olympia. So
Yeah.
she's the most experienced. And even Tyler is liking a little bit more condition and is also adapting a little bit more on the European standards once he is in Europe, except if there is some Americans.
Mm.
I think
So it's like,
we've spoke about this, Kerry Marnie, about obviously the judges that you want to get in front of are, of course, the Olympiad judges, and they're located in North America. And as we know, the first few months of the season, you have these workshops taking place all over North America. Sandy is going every single week. Same with Tyler. He's in Colorado, Carolina, this weekend. And it means those pros who are competing this season have somewhere to go to physically see these judges, be seen, get that bit more advice, and then be seen again by them when they step on stage, which is of course something we don't have the luxury of.
mhm.
What I wanted to ask you, Alison, and I've heard this being said by competitors who have competed in Olympia on multiple occasions, but then on one year they miss out. And as we know, every single year there are new girls, new competitors who qualify for Olympia, Kerry being one of them who got a ticket to Olympia in 2024. There's always new people go qualifying, and therefore those who don't make it the next year can sometimes maybe just fall below the ranks because of the volume of competitors coming through. So I know obviously you've taken on the feedback from 2024. You know exactly what improvements you want to make. How important is it for you to get back to Olympia for the third time come October 2025?
Actually, to be totally honest, it's not so important. I don't wish to go to the Olympia, but I want my changes to be appreciated by the judges. Like if I if I lose, for example, a show, I want the judge to tell me, okay, it was this far. That's just because you did not smile enough or the tan was not so good. I want to hear something like this more than you still have two big hips
Yeah.
or you're far from good enough. I I really want to notice the change because every time I just change the lines and the ratio of my shape, uh, I don't just change the softness or the hardness. I change totally everything, like the shape of the glutes and the shape of the shoulders and the shape of this and this. And the point is that one day I hope I'm going to find the right balance. So this is my only hope. And if it's good, okay, I will accept going to the Olympia because it's still good. But that's not the main goal. I want them to be, okay, this time this is perfect.
Yeah.
That's the only thing I want. Like if I can breathe again, okay, this time you were perfect. It was just by this, or this is for you. But
To me, it shows how much resilience you have as well, though, Alison, for like constantly being told, like of recent, like kind of no, and this is wrong, and this is wrong, and this is wrong, and you're going away. And I'm sure there's been parts of you that have gone, like when you were gonna try wellness, for example, fuck this, like don't know if I can do this. But you've shown that resilience and you've changed and transformed so much. So I really hope that does get rewarded for you because that is
thank
that
you.
is a lot more than just going to the gym to grow glutes and shoulders and back and just coming up improved. It's like very fine tuned and it's hard to do that. So yeah.
Thank you so much. Thank you. And the point is that I don't know if you're gonna listen to the podcast, but James is telling me you are still doing mistakes. This is still not good. And I'm like, all right, let's see. But yes, it's complicated because when you do it with your coach, who is not just a top coach who knows the division by heart, you are just doing it with your coach who knows you the best. It's complicated because there is bikini criterions and there is bikini criterions. If you follow the criterions here, you don't win always.
Yeah.
If you follow the criterions in USA, if you follow the feedback, you win. Easy. But here, sometimes you place even worse when you listen the feedback of the judges. So
Agree.
that's complicated because in Europe, I think this is just like this. Okay, she's the most beautiful that day, she's moving good. Okay, that's for her.
Yeah.
So I think, no, but that's true because
Yeah.
I was watching Bikini Pro Show from the spectator point of view. And even when I was watching, I was like, okay, this girl gonna win because she's the most sexy. That's all. That's all. Not because she has the best glutes or not because she has the best back pose. This is her because she's sexy. End of the story. And the point is that this is something you can feel only when you are seated into the spectator zone. We see
I'm
the clear
sexy.
winner. Okay? Yes, we see the clear winner. So in fact, the shape does not matter for real.
Yeah. But I
Well,
think, what you were saying though, with regards to like um opinions and stuff from other people, I had that last season. You won't qualify for the Olympia. There's no point. It was from an American coach as well. There's no point. You need to grow more upper. My upper's like jacked. Like I'm so
Yes, it is.
glad I listened to that because yeah, I'm happy with what I brought, to be honest. I know there's things that I need to do, but again, it just goes to show that sometimes you have to go tunnel vision, you have to block out the opinions of others. Otherwise, you're going to end up in such a messy state when actually, if you just zone in on the people in the circle that you know have got you and that are feeding you their honesty, their opinions, and stuff like that, then I think you're going to produce the better results, but you're also going to have more peace in your mindset. And then you can say a big FY because you did it.
Exactly. And also when you are totally in peace, I remember before 2021, when I was going on stage, I was totally innocent. I was going on stage like I
Yeah.
was posing like I don't give a shit of posing. I was like doing my stuff and it was working. And now it's like everything looks so complicated. That I lost in the past. I lost the passion when I was on stage. It's like you need to do this, don't do that. The shape is not good. There's there is too many ideas inside the head because you had the first qualification for the Olympia. Before the first qualification for the Olympia, everything looks good
Yeah.
because you chase a dream, but after it's like you have to keep it and
Yes.
you have to still go for it and you have to keep being competitive enough and do better than what you did and it starts to be very hard. So after that it's not the same than before. When you don't expect nothing, it's much better.
Yeah. I hear you.
Sorry for my English. It's like
It's spot on.
No, we
Well,
understand everything, yeah.
look, Alison, well, I'm sure we're all going to wish you the very best of luck over the next few months. And you've already given us a little inkling that it could be a European show. So at least we got an idea, continent-wise, where it's going to be. But I guess we'll have to wait
Yes,
a few more months until we get a bit of a show detail on where in Europe that could be. But look, Alison, want to wish you the very best of luck. You're clearly doing something right because it's not just female pages that are covering yourself as well. I'm seeing other pages like Buys and Tries, which are predominantly men focused. They're actually covering yourself as well. So clearly you're doing something right in your off season that is
thank you.
catching the eyes of other outlets, and hopefully that's going to be the case when you step on stage in front of the judges.
Thank you. Thank you so much. And I hope I'm going to be able to kiss Kerry at the Olympia, but
Yeah.
just to kiss her because it's going to be amazing. It's going to be, I hope you're going to enjoy it if I don't come, but I wish we could be together
I
at the
wish you
Olympia.
could. I have this feeling for you this year. Honestly, it's there. I've just got this feeling. So just keep
Let's
staying
see.
tunnel visioned and we'll see you there.
And congratulations again for you because I know that after that you had a little bit of self-doubts if you really deserve it or not, but you deserved it. You deserve it. And you have to remember that when you are going to the Olympia, because there, once on stage, you have to think it, you have to believe you deserve to be there.
Honestly, I've been working so hard on that actually. And I do feel like I've come far on that. So yeah, I'm gonna keep to that advice and yeah, remember that I've got something that many people want, you know?
Yeah.
Yes, and please remember that because when I went to the Ohio, I was feeling I don't deserve to be here.
Right.
And they put me last place, but for other reasons. But I was not owning the moment.
Right. Okay. I hear you. Yeah, too much pressure. You've got to keep the passion,
Mm-hmm,
enjoyment of the sport, right?
mm-hmm,
Yeah.
exactly.
Well, I'm excited to see how that pays off for you this year.
Hell yeah.
Awesome.
Thank you
Good luck,
so
Alison.
much.
Take
Got
care.
this.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Take
Have a
care.
nice
Bye.
evening. Bye.
Bye.
She's so sweet.
Okay, let's just bring on our next guest. But I can see her in the
Oh,
waiting
we're on a
area
roll. We're on a roll.
from one person who just missed out on getting to the Olympia. We move on to the next person who will be at the Olympia 2025 with Kerry, and she secured her ticket
Hello.
in San Diego.
Hey.
Emmy, you're good?
Yes, I think I only see you, but I hear everybody else.
Oh, can you not see Kerry and Marnie?
What about when we talk? If I talk, do I show up?
Yes, yes. When you
Oh,
talk, you
thank
show
you.
up.
Oh,
Yes.
amazing.
Just
Okay, let me do a proper
Okay, I
introduction.
can I can see everybody now when they
Oh,
talk. So, hi everyone.
let me introduce you properly because we gotta do it justice. Now, 2024
Oh no,
was
no,
obviously you wanted to get to
no,
the
please.
Olympia. You took third place at the Wasatch Warrior. You took third in the prestigious New York Pro.
It was
Fifth,
a great year.
yeah, it was great. Yeah, fifth in the TC, and then you peaked second place at the Indy Pro. Four shows. That's when you shut it down. Olympia wasn't meant to be in 2024. But let's look back a week ago. San Diego muscle contest. You did it. You got the
Somebody
trophy.
pinch me.
You got the
Yes.
title. You're at the Olympia. Emmy, has it all sunk in?
Um, and I said, somebody pinch me. I I still try to process the feeling. It obviously you go in the season, I go in the season with a very specific goal. But like between having a goal and an expectation, like I don't have expectation. This is a very first show that I do that I truthfully leave out my word because it's very easy to say things like, oh yeah, I don't have expectation, I welcome whatever outcome. It's a easy and it's a nice thing to say, but I don't think that everyone actually believe that in their heart. At least I wasn't. Um, I try to feel that way because I know I'm supposed to feel that way, and I say that because wouldn't we supposed to say that? But this year is a very very first year that I feel like I know for the fact that I did everything that I could. And I'm very confident with the improvement I have made from last season. I also understand why I should have like why shutting down in June last year and not compete anymore. It was a good decision. So I feel very at peace with everything that I have done. So I truthfully feel like, whatever happened here, I'm okay with that. And I will share with you guys some of the things that happened at the show that actually nobody know about, like because they don't have a life.
Mm.
So y'all don't know like how the pre-judging and how the call out go, and that when it's really challenged what I said. I asked myself between pre-judging and final, do I actually believe what I say that I will welcome whatever outcome that come from the show? Do I actually think that whatever God plans for me, I'm okay with that? And the answer was yes. And so that why I'm just like I feel very, very happy about what happened, but at the same time, I truthfully feel like whatever happened that day, I would be happy. So,
You literally have, I was just saying this to Suki before, Emmy, your physique is one of my absolute favorites in bikini. You know that I love you because we follow each other on
I
Instagram, but
know, and I actually, she and I talk on IG, so I know everything she said. She mean it, and I really feel the love from far away. And
yeah,
thank
and
you so much. And it's funny because I draw into your physique and your posing too. It almost like I feel like the universe have a way to really string that like connection. Doesn't matter where you at, just draw into your people, and I really feel that way about you. So.
yeah,
It's a mutual feeling.
it's the energy, 100%. I
Yeah.
was gonna say though, like, I would love for us to talk more about how you felt when you kind of, ended your season last year because the improvements are clear to see. But I even thought last year, like, you were very close. And
Thank
I
you.
guess maybe for some of the listeners, we get so caught up sometimes in extending a season, and sometimes it works out in our
Mhm.
favor. Like Kerry's a great example of that. What was the conversation and what was the mindset for you when you had those conversations with Jamie? Like what was the situation like when you were like, no, we're gonna stop here and we're gonna take our time and come back next year? What happened?
I would lie if I say that it was an easy call. It was very emotional, hard decision, and actually it didn't happen right away when I get off stage at Indy. We were so close, and honestly, the second place was the hardest placing and in the most humbling way. I want to make sure that people know that, hey, she feel like she entitled to win. I didn't feel like that. And Jodie was amazing at the show. And even though I wish I would have win there, when I look back, I understand why Jodie get the first place. And even though it was like the judge tell me it was really tight after prejudging, they didn't know. Okay, I just want to make sure that I'm not like losing you guys because the screen doing something weird
Oh,
No,
here.
it's not you.
no.
We can hear. You're still there.
Okay, okay. So even like when I get judge feedback, Becky told me that after prejudging, they didn't know who they would choose between me and Jody. Long story short, it was the hardest blessing that I released, relief, because when you get fifth and third, you have to try, like like you're not that close,
Mm,
close but not that close. But when I got the second place at Indy, you felt like the win is so close, like you could touch it, you could feel it, you can envision it so close, and then it's not there. And obviously I was chasing it the whole season, and at that point um I was really sad, but I did want to commit for another show. It's a Tahoe show, but I was struggling pretty bad at that point. Not physically, my body respond really well. Everything going great. Jamie was amazing. My prep was never that easy. So physically, I was just fine. But mentally, it was hard for me because I started to lose sight of why I compete. I didn't have much fun on my daily routine.
mm,
I just feel something was off. And this, I'm a coach as well. I coach, and that's take a lot of self-reflection. I talk to John. John, my husband, is everything to me, and this is our journey together. We always kick things off each other, and I just share with John that I don't really have fun, and I feel like the only thing that I focus on right now is the win, and that just doesn't feel like me,
mm,
because that wasn't just me. I feel like competing is like cherry on top of the cake for me. I feel like my life pretty complete. I love my life. I love my husband. I love my family. So for me to be ultra focused on just the win, I know that is not the right way. I don't think that how the champion should feel. And to me, I always think of a champion is like a house with two side of the foundation, the physically, like the physics side and the mindset side. And sometimes if one is weaker than the other, if your physique is so advanced but you not really have your mindset in place, the house gonna collapse sooner or later. And I did not want to collapse on the way to my first Olympia. And I know that even though maybe I could get there physically, because I feel like my physique was pretty close to that point. Uh, I know that I'm not there. I don't feel like I have the champion mindset that I want. I didn't think that is needed. Like I need more time to grow there. So I have a talk with Jamie, and it was emotional. It was like I tell Jamie like, oh, maybe I just call up, and then a few days later I'm just like, Jimmy, maybe just keep my macro there. I'm not ready. Like it was a back and forth because I wasn't ready. But after I think about like 2 weeks, then I tell Jamie, I think it's the right decision. I feel very at peace. I feel more present in my training. I feel more present, like more myself to everybody around me, and that when I know, okay, this is the right decision for me. And now look back at it. Obviously, it's easy to say it now that I win, but honestly, it couldn't gone any better. I feel like I'm ready mentally. I feel like obviously I made a lot of improvement on my physique. I feel like, but what I notice the most is I feel so much better in my headspace. The way that I process this whole competing, I feel like I come back to where it started for me, why I did this. I want to inspire people. I want to lead people the right way. And yeah, so for a lot, like long story short, I know I give a long answer, but you really have to go back to your why to ask yourself why you compete. Do you have fun? If the answer is no, if you don't have fun anymore, doesn't matter how good you look, you really should consider pulling a little bit break. And one thing that Jamie and Greg is amazing at is they tell me I have a in-person check-in with them in July, and they said, why don't we all take a 24-hour break and think about this? They never have me make a big decision like sign up for a big show or pull off my season, like big decision within 24 hour. We talk about this and then we get kind of like break and then give each other a 24 hour. And that's what I tell myself now. Like if I need to make any big decision, I never being impulsive. It's like, oh, I'm gonna go out to eat today because I'm all prep. No, we just gonna take a 24-hour breather, pray over it, and see what's right with our heart, and then process from there. So
Oh, that answer was chef's kiss. Like, just, I can relate to so much of what you've just said. Like, the mental tug of war of like, do I continue? Do I not continue? Like, everything that you've just said there, like, I've literally just gone through pretty much the same thing
yes.
being in
And
prep.
I love that you share that online with people. We're very I love how transparent and real you are. It's not easy to say, you know, this is kind of like what I love, but I don't love it
Yeah,
anymore.
yeah, it's really hard. And I know we've spoke about this of like sometimes, oh, well, do you just need a break or is this the end and things like that. But now for you, looking back, every decision that you made last year makes sense because what is the quote? Like life can only be understood backwards, but it must be lived forward. So now you're an
You're right.
Olympian. Feels
I
crazy.
I will I will get used to with that title one day.
The thing is, though, if you look back at the journey, as much as like you wanted it last year, you wanted it last year, now you wouldn't change any of that because you know it's made you a stronger person by going through what you have. And as a coach, you're now more relatable because you can relate to
Yes, you
people
are
if they
absolutely right. Yeah.
they want, and you can say, well, this is how I felt, this is what I did, and you're a role model to many, many people. And I think it takes courage to pull your season back, especially knowing there is so many shows ahead of you, because there is more shows ahead of you. But yeah, you definitely made the right decision, obviously, and you have come back with a huge bang. So
Thank
massive,
you.
massive congratulations.
Thank you, Carrie. Thank you. It's mean a lot coming from you. And like it's also important to consider your loved one, your job, like other responsibility, because most of us have another job or two or three, a business that we try to run, and the loved one that we adore so very much. Like my husband, he's so devoted to my journey. He he even pulled back in his own competing career for me. Um, we, you know how expensive competing is, and he really pulled everything that we have, like not everything, but but kind of like a lot into my journey. So um, I feel like it's the right decision for us too because we have that opportunity to strengthen our relationship, to focus on each other a little bit more. Like it or not, like I'll be lying if I say, "Oh, I was perfect. I always treat everybody perfect when I'm on prep." I don't really get grumpy, but like your focus is in the game, so you have to get that game mode on, and like it or not, something gotta give, and I'm glad that I did that because my kid, I have five. I
That's
have five
incredible,
kids.
by the
Um,
way. Yeah.
Wow.
my five kid and my husband who's more important to me than anything in this world, like he needed, like our relationship need that, so
You guys literally, I feel like you do it all. You own a gym, you're a coach, you're a mother, you're a wife. Like, I mean, if anybody can learn anything from you, Emmy, it's that like, you can do it. And it's hard, of course, but again, like what Kerry said, like you're a role model probably to so many women. So yeah, it's incredible. And I think it makes taking that title that you just won and now stepping on the Olympia stage, you're representing so many people. You are like so many people behind you cheering for you. And yeah, it makes the whole thing so much more meaningful. It really does.
Okay, you're not supposed to make me cry.
Sorry, girl.
That's not what I'm signed up for.
I hear it.
But like this is what I share with people a lot. You don't need to be an Olympian to inspire people. Everybody can touch life and soul that other can't. Like there's people that you Carrie can inspire that I can never reach them. So as like everybody, we all have that like special connection. Like why we draw into each other, even though like you in the UK and I'm over here. There's life, there's mother, there's business owner that like mother of 3 4 5 who can relate with me that can't relate to other champion, and that doesn't make me any better or worse. I just feel like God have a story for us to tell, and like Carrie, you just said, because of the decision I make last season, it's allowed me to coach and to reach people that other can't. So yeah, I feel really honored to be looked up to, but I feel like you can serve your like I can serve my client and I can share and I can be transparent with my journey. Even if I can inspire one or two people, I don't know. I really just want to show up as me. Uh, Even though sometimes it's hard because social media, I would just want to have somebody to know that, hey, you could do that. Like if Emmy can do it, you can do it too. Like there's so many things about me that should be like, no, she can be an Olympian. She like I'm 37 this October and I'm competing with people like 20 something years old. I'm mother of five and I have a business or two. I born and raised in Vietnam, did my second language. I didn't know fitness until I moved to the state in 2013. So I start this journey very, very late. There's so many things about me that go against what I call ideal surrounding, ideal upbringing to be here. But I'm here. So there's no reason why you can't. Like, why not you, right?
Emmy, I want to touch on the San Diego show because of
Yes.
course that is the one you took your experiences on board last year from the four shows where you didn't quite make it, but San Diego you did. So you touched on a few things at the start. Did everything go to plan of how you wanted it for that show when you began your prep going towards the San Diego one?
It was like this is very smooth prep for me. I work with Jamie now 14 months, and she and Jamie from Fit Body Fusion and Greg, they're my coach, and my training coach is Drew. Um, on my daily basis, John helped me a lot with like my training, my posing. He supervised a lot of my day to day like execution. So I have a really strong team behind me. Also, reverse right kind of make things so much easier. I don't go too far off where I should. So I only to San Diego, we only prep like 9.5 week and we on stage. And I think we brought really good package. But at the show, though, what I was everything toward like physics side, I couldn't ask for anymore. I think that we was like nailing a lot of things. That was my best package ever, hand down. But I don't. I have picture I can post later on my story to kind of or send it to you guys. But when they do the first call out, I wasn't in the first call out.
I thought, yeah, I remember seeing that you were going to be at the show and then seeing updates of the first call out and I do not
Yeah.
remember seeing you. Yeah, I
So
remember that.
yeah, I this is my 7 pro show, but I watch like you guys probably the same. We watch about 40, 50
Yeah,
or more pro show because this is what we breathe and like we
yeah.
love it. We're so immersed in the sport. This is the very first pro show that I ever watch or compete that the winner of the show is not in the first call out. Now I can laugh about that. I wasn't laughing then.
Oh, I bet. What did
You
you
know
think?
what? That just goes to show that it's not over till it's over. A lot of
Yeah,
athletes would just,
exactly.
they would
It's not
fall.
over until it's over.
You need to tell us
So
the story. Tell us the story. Come on.
Yeah, go.
my heart, my heart dropped. I think I didn't show it on stage, but my heart dropped when the number was like, I was number 9 and he called 8 and 10. I was like, did he miss me? Hello, I'm here. Because I wasn't expect anything or no I being like, oh, I should be in the first call out. But as a coach, as an athlete with a lot of experience, you kind of can see where you should be at or like will be at in the show, like 9, maybe top 9, I don't know. Like I should be in there. You know what I mean, like Carrie, like you
Yeah.
kind of like thinking that. But I wasn't in the first call out. They actually called the first call out. I can't remember. I think 8, and then they dismissed 3, and then I was brought in to the second call out in the middle. So I have chill in a bad way.
Yeah.
I was on stage, and the stage is the expo stage. I can see everybody very clear. I can see the judge talking. I can see my husband. I can see my coach. They kind of have like the stuns, like a shock look on their face, and it takes every courage of every little fiber in me of like the resilience, if I have any, to take a deep breath and it's like, I'm not gonna think anything. It will be just like it not over until it's over. And it was hard. And after the prejudging, my head was spinning. People was, I think, don't know what to say to me backstage because we go in with a goal, right? And then Jamie and I and John and Greg, we was talking backstage, and I just like, Jamie, I don't know what happened. Honestly, I have a little bit tear, and I didn't want to eat. I was really sad. And that when I said, it's this sport is amazing. It forces you to grow like season after season, months after months, and week like between weeks. But now I forced to grow between prejudging and final because I didn't want to eat. I didn't want to really like a tiny part of me was like, I don't even want to get back on
Yeah.
stage.
Yeah.
um, you know what I mean? That's just me being super honest. I
All
didn't know
felt
what to think. I felt really off, and that when you I would say I couldn't do this without John and Jamie, especially John. And that's actually true. They pick me up, they lift me up. They not just like, oh, like not just the normal like cheer me up kind of conversation. They challenge me to think like a champion. Um, and they said we did say that we welcome whatever outcome, right? I say that. We all say that. Our team, like little team, we have our people. Do we actually believe in it? And we know that it's our best package. Can we still present it proudly if the placing doesn't go our way? So um I think about my client. I think about the example I want to set to them because many show my client like go to, national. That I don't want to go back to final. And I tell them the same thing, right? What kind of athlete you're gonna show up to be, even when things go our way. It's so easy to be laughing, happy, go back to final and pose your heart out when you're kind of in 1, 2, 3, 4 position. You have chance to win. But now it doesn't seem like that to me. It look like 9 to 10, right? And so long story short, John have a heart-to-heart talk with me at the hotel, and he said, you need to prove that you're worthy to be the champion that you are. You are the champion. I know you are it. Pose for me, pose for the champion you are, and just show up. And if they're gonna place you 9 or 10, we keep going because I know that you're gonna be at the Olympia this year. So we're gonna do it regardless. And when I walk back to the 10 at final, my heart, like when I walk toward the, like, it's kind of like 10. I shouldn't call it a 10, but it's kind of like look like a 10 to me. And I walk toward the final and I see myself kind of like slow down, like my feet dragging on the floor as I walk toward the thing still. And I take a deep breath and I pray and I pray. And I take a deep breath and I don't think that I hear God, but I know that I can feel him with me. And I was like, I will be actually my best today. So I get back on stage, and that's why you guys, when you guys watch the video that I post online, the reason why I was so surprised and I act the way I act, it wasn't an act because truthfully, I didn't expect that at all. I give up that expectation. Not that I give up hope, but I didn't think I would win. At the end, when they do the confirmation round, they did throw 5 people, and it's 6 people, including Romina, so top six into the mix. It seems like I'm gonna be in top six, but still, like at the end, when they call four, there's still me and Romina actually was in the first call out, so I thought it was her, and she looked amazing. And at that point, I really don't think, like you don't count card anymore, like you just like whatever. So I was really surprised, and I talked to Patrick, the head judge, after the show, and I said, "Wow, you like really forced me to grow." And he said, "Yes, like like you're gonna be an Olympian, you're gonna be a champion. It is your chance to grow, to actually show up as the winner without winning." And I'm so grateful that it was the way it was, and I'm grateful for that opportunity to grow there, because it's like I said, I never seen a pro show that the winner's not in the first call out at all, and I'm so blessed to have that experience.
That's
Yeah.
crazy. That is literally amazing. That must have made it feel so sweet and so surreal.
Yes, yes, like that why it was so hard for me to process everything. I was speechless. I still have chill talking about that as of today. It made the experience a zillion times more special. And just just the champion that I become throughout that day, that experience is worth everything to me. Even if I don't win that experience, it's just like really you can't pray for it, you can't buy it, you just have to go through it to be it.
Yeah.
What a story.
Yeah,
Amazing.
I think plenty of people can take so much from it where it's not over until it's over. Look, we've seen
Yes.
stories where look, the Arnolds in men's physique, Aaron Banks was a fourth in prejudging, moved second, but it's very, very rare, if ever,
Mm,
do you hear about somebody have to climb from second call outs, maybe in the bottom three, to come all the way to win and
yeah.
qualify for Olympia. So there's no doubt that that roller coaster of emotions also brought the roller coaster of an experience that now you can utilize going into the Olympia. Now have your own story of how you got there. So I guess now having kind of you've gone through that, and like I said, you're still taking all that in and getting chills thinking back to that moment. Now you've got your stamp to Olympia. Now you've got what so many competitors, not just girls, but competitors IP pros, what they dream of, what NPC competitors dream of. You are now officially an Olympian going to Olympia 2025. What is the plan now going to Las Vegas? Because you got a lot of time before then. What's the
Yeah.
game plan?
um First of all, now the whole season seems a lot more fun because, like it or not, we have a little bit of pressure until we get to our goal. So now that I get my qualification, I feel very relaxed. Like whatever plan ahead of me seem like so much more um just chill. So we plan to compete at Wasatch Warrior in a few weeks here in Utah. That show is very special to me because that's my comeback show last year. In a way, it's kind of made my name last year when I placed third in the lineup of amazing 36 pro there. I love the way that the competitor is taking care of there. So I just want to do one more show. I have fun. I'm having fun. So like I don't need to win or anything there. I just want to have a little bit more fun on stage because that's what I love about this sport. So I'm gonna do one more. And then after that we may we may hit to New York Pro. I didn't announce anything about that yet, but I think we will to get feedback before the Olympia, and I think that probably wrap up for now. And then after we get feedback at New York Pro and stand next to some like high profile Olympian there, then we know for more of what we need to improve. Because right now at San Diego, my feedback was just like watch for the condition, don't get any leaner, but like keep everything the way it is. And then last year at Indiana, Becky told me to keep everything exactly the same. So I want to have another chance of standing next to top, like, top competitor in the game and see where, because, anytime you stand next to somebody really, really good, your weaknesses get exposed. And I want that. I really I really don't believe in saying the same. I not doesn't mean that I need to get bigger. That just mean I need to be better. And I know for the fact that my stage presence can be better. So that one thing that I already have something in plan. Um, I just started. I signed up with Phoebe, so I'm gonna start working with Phoebe for my posing to just kind of like bring it up a notch. And then after we get feedback in New York Pro, we know for more like what we need to do with our physique to just getting better. Is that's the name of the game. That's what it's fun for me is hey, I think I can be better and I will show you. Like anytime anybody tell me like, oh, you can't be any better or like YouTuber or anybody say, oh, I think this is the best you can do. Or just like I can do better. Doesn't mean I need to place any better. That not at all what I mean. But I think every time you step your heel on stage, even at the same show, you can be better. You always can be better. So I'm excited for that. And then we take time off until the Olympia.
Emmy, I just want to jump in quickly because you mentioned about the importance of like doing another show like New York, getting in front of maybe Steve to get that feedback, also in maybe a bigger lineup, as that is one of the major pro shows of the year. But of course, just before that is Pittsburgh, and we know Ashlyn's over there, Ariane's there. And of course, it's a Mannion's show. We know Tyler, Steve, I believe Sandy, Becky, all those will all be there. Was that a potential show that you may have thought about doing, knowing that you already qualified for Olympia?
Okay, so let's just rewind a little bit. I have 5 kids. I have 5 kids, so it's funny, but like we have a very specific schedule because of the kid. So every 2 week I can't do a show because we have all 5 kids in one weekend, and the next weekend we have like two, just because of the way the parenting plan and everything structure. So it's easier to ask people to watch your two than five. So like that is like a real moment. Like I wish that I could compete in Pittsburgh. Like the lineup looks so amazing. Like I see, like I keep like, see them posting every day about who's gonna compete there, and I wish I could. But that weekend we have all 5 kids, and as much as I love competing, my kids are very, very important to me. So I won't give up a weekend with all my 5 kids for any show except for the Olympia. So yeah, so I did consider that, but I don't think it's in the card for me this year. So that's why I choose New York Pro because I know some big name competitor gonna be there, and I did that show last year, and I had a lot of fun there, and I know Tyler gonna judge there. So even though it's not quite as Pittsburgh, we're gonna say kind of like similar stuff going on, like the lineup and the judge there. So. Yeah, I have to make sure that I don't put my family and my kid in the back burner as my season go. So
That makes sense. Good answer. Put the
It
kids
does
first.
make sense. It definitely does make
it's
sense.
it's really it is what it is. I'm not like mother of the year by any mean, but I love them.
Well, I'm sure your kids would beg to differ, given what you just achieved. And I honestly, Kerry, Mike, put my mind at ease. I'm trying to think, has there been an Olympia bikini competitor with 5 kids? I've
I
I've heard
don't.
two or
I don't
three. I've
know.
never got to
I don't
four.
know how many Olympian have five.
Is that
I
a
don't know.
record?
I don't know. I don't know.
That's what I want to know.
But
Is that like that's it? This
It
could be
might be.
historic.
It's
Yeah, I
incredible.
think it might be.
Very
yeah.
inspiring. Very.
Emmy.
Thank you,
Well,
Carrie.
look, Emmy, what I mean, obviously hearing the story of what you achieved in San Diego just is the epitome of resilience and not falling falling back down, picking yourself up after what
Oh,
happened. And
yeah.
of
You
course, I mean,
can. Yeah.
was your family there? Were your kids there as well?
No, we normally don't bring kid to show.
Yeah, you know,
But I my husband always there. I never do a show without my husband there. He actually always backstage with me. Um, he never miss any of my show. We do this together. He like do my tan, make sure that like weigh my food out. Like he's like I said, I think I repeat myself a few times, but I really can't do any of this without him. And this is our win. This is not my win. And we do everything together. We used to train a lot more together until I kind of like get banned from training quad. And then like I kind of train like bikini now. So we do a few sessions together here and there, but he supervises a lot of my training. So yeah,
well,
he's the real champ.
it does sound like you've got the right environment, the right people around you, not just your husband, but your
It's so
coaching team,
important. Yeah,
and
I
of
actually,
course,
yeah, you're
5 kids
right.
will look up to you. I'm sure they went to school the next day and probably telling other kids, "My
Yeah,
mum's Olympian." They probably didn't understand what they're saying, but clearly it was something that they were very proud of. And
they are
now,
very proud. But
yeah,
they're very proud.
they'll
And
be watching
it's
on the big
my
screen.
my mom is strong. That's what they say.
Oh,
Yeah,
That's
a lot of what I do is an example, not so much about the title to me, like to the kid. They don't understand much of that. But one thing that I wanted to show them is if you think you like it if you think it's impossible, think twice. Everything is possible. Especially I have three-step kid and two of my own. And two of my own, we go through quite a story together. I started competing when I married to my ex-husband. It was a long abusive relationship without sharing too much detail. But my kid see me when I was broken down, when I was belittled, when I was abused. So they see that I'm not only survived that, I'm thriving, and that not gonna be my story, never gonna be. And so I think it's important to me to get out of that and show my kid that you're not what people tell you to
Yes.
be, and you can do anything. Like if I can do that, anybody can do it. Um, And I want to show them that I am so much more than just a survival of domestic violence or victim or any of that. That's not going to be the end of my story. I'm not going to wave that story over my head for the rest of my life to get sympathy from people. I am so much more. And I am not. Like now I have the whole new story that God gave me and I live it out. And I think that my kid heal from that experience too, because they see how I process my own journey, how I heal, and that's pour into them and that like empower them. My daughter is 13 years old and I see so much healing happening with this whole like bodybuilding and what I do to like for her. I think it's important for every mom to show their kid you are capable of more, and you are amazing. You have to show your kid that you're strong, you're resilient, nothing is impossible, and never ever give up on your dream. Never. It's not like my client texted me yesterday. She sent me a show and she said, "Oh, is it out of my league?" And I said, "Never. Nothing is out of your league. Never." So I
Love
don't
that.
believe in impossible.
What
Yeah.
a what a way to end the episode. I mean, I was going to drop you out to end it just for three, but I think that's a perfect way to end it. So, Emmy, I just want to say congratulations again. Wish you the
Thank you.
very best of luck for your next two shows, of course, before you get to the Olympia. And I hope, obviously, you and your family experience more of those moments when you work
Thank you
around San
so
Diego
much for
champion.
having me. And thank you guys. I really appreciate it. Thank you for letting me share my story, not just my win, but my story. I know that I probably overshare.
No, it's
But
amazing, honestly.
anyway,
And
um,
you said something like you're not mother of the year or something like that. I think you can take that.
100% are. Yes, you are.
You can take that back. You
you
are
guys.
definitely. So yeah.
Kerry, like both of like you guys, I really look up to you guys as well, and please keep showing up on social media and share your journey like you always sharing because it's really inspiring to me, and I vibe off you guys. I learn from you guys, and it's amazing what we can like really help each other, empower each other across the world. So sending you guys a lot of love.
50%.
Oh,
And
love that.
see you at the Olympia.
Yes, we'll
Yeah,
see
see
you
you at the
there.
Olympia.
That's a wrap for episode 11.